this afternoon is your classmate, Rana Sabra.
Yeah! Rana! Woo! Yeah!
Before I begin, I would like to dedicate my speech to my mom for her endless sacrifices and unconditional love.
Aww. Woo!
Hello, class of 2018. We finally made it. But before we throw our hats up in celebration, I want to talk to you about the concept of privilege. Privilege is a word that makes many people uncomfortable. It can carry a negative connotation, and those who have privilege do not like to admit that they have it. They might believe that by admitting that they have privilege, they are also admitting that they have no struggles, no hardships, no worries. But this is far from the truth. Having privilege does not mean you lack struggles, and it does not have to be such a bad thing. In this room, there are countless internal and external struggles. Some feel the burden of these struggles more than others. Some have had harder lives and less opportunities than the person they are sitting next to today. But there is one thing that we all have in common. We are all here and we are all graduating, and that is our shared privilege. At this point, after 4 long years, I know a lot of you are thinking, how is 4 years of bad report cards in the mail that we couldn't get to first a privilege? How is 4 years of homework, lectures, and fire drills in the pouring Washington rain a privilege? Well, I want to tell you guys a little story. I am a second-generation Lebanese American. In the summer of 2006, I was about to go to Lebanon for the very first time. I remember being excited to finally see my family's native country. I grew up speaking the language and learning about the culture, and I was about to experience it all firsthand. But the culture and the language isn't the only thing that I experienced that summer. Unfortunately, halfway through our vacation, war broke out. Before we knew it, we were in the midst of what is now known as the 2006 Israel-Hezbollah war. I will never forget a particular evening in my grandmother's apartment in the town of Alay. My brother and I were sitting on a small couch when a loud boom echoed through the dark sky, simultaneously shaking the entire apartment building, knocking my brother onto the floor. Following several weeks of fear and anxiety came the rush to flee the country. The targeting of commercial airplanes forced us to be taken to the island of Cyprus on a 3-day trip in a Navy ship, sent to rescue American citizens caught in the crossfires. I was only 6 years old at the time. To me, that experience was just an inconvenience, a scary interruption in my vacation. It took growing up to realize the extent of what I went through. More importantly, it took growing up to realize what I left behind that summer. Millions of people in warring countries are running from bombs and conflict, and the protection of an American citizenship grants us U.S. aid and determines our chance at life while they continue to struggle. So why am I telling you this story? Growing up in the United States with a memory of this experience introduced me to the concept of privilege, and that the unequal opportunities that kids endure in other countries can be seen within our own country. The lives of many kids in this country is like the 2006 Israel-Hezbollah war, and only a select group of kids have that metaphorical American citizenship that will get them out of the war zone, that will give them a better chance at life. Those of us with this ticket to a good life, drive to school every day. We learn, we talk to our friends, we participate in sports, and then we go home. We go to sleep with the privilege of knowing that life, that society, will have all of this ready for us tomorrow. So is there something wrong with having all of this so easily accessible to us, if there are people who don't have these same luxuries? Well, Albert Einstein once said that those who have the privilege to know have the duty to act. Over these 4 years, we have had the privilege of being able to acquire so much knowledge, both inside and outside of the classroom. And it is okay to have this privilege if this privilege can be the driving force behind a successful society. Those who have it, more importantly, those who know they have it, are the people that can help make this world a better place. Because if you do not realize that you have privilege, important things will pass you by. You begin to feel entitled to the advantages that you have over others. And you will never be obligated to do anything about it because the system is already working in your favor. But education, this education, will always give you the ability to do something. The ability to help the people who aren't helped by the system. People who haven't had the same access to education we've had. People who, with support from those with privilege, can change the world just as much as the next person. The more we use our education, our form of privilege, the closer we are to changing the system. The closer we are to abolishing the sense of entitlement we have to things like education, the more we begin to appreciate the opportunities we have. As Einstein said, we must act on the opportunities that the last 4 years of high school has given us, and that is all part of our next chapter. We are all about to receive a high school diploma, and this high school diploma, believe it or not, is our shared privilege. Every single graduate in this room has it, and every single graduate in this room has the ability to use it to make the world a better place. The ability to donate some of the time, effort, and knowledge that this privilege has given you in order to help those that do not have what you now have. Class of 2018, as we go our separate ways and live out the rest of our lives, I want you to remember the concept of privilege. And I want you to remember to act on the privilege that the past 4 years has given you. Thank you and congratulations.
Woo! Yeah!
Thank you, Rana, for your inspirational and meaningful message. Seated around this